The Sega Master System. The challenge will always be there.
Hey everybody, welcome to my 20 from the Sega Master System series. But before we get started, I want to make a few notes. First of all, props to Ernie Anderson, who was the voice in the opening clip, the commercial clip. He was super famous. You probably recognize him. He did a lot of trailers and commercials and ABC shows. Super talented guy, and he was also a horror show host known as Ghoulardi. Rest in peace, Ernie. But also, there were games actually made after 1992 for the Sega Master System, but only in like Europe and Brazil. But there were some frickin' good games that came out of there, and I will include some on this list. But before we dive into the list, I want to take a look at a trick. Now, if you do not have a game in the Sega Master System, when you get to this screen, you can hold the 1 and 2 buttons and press up, and you will go to a special hidden game. It is called a snail maze game, and you get to control a little tiny snail, try to wind its way through the maze, and reach where it says goal before the time runs out. And if you do, then you get to play another maze. And it's really, really an intricate maze with very small twists and turns. It's very hard to do if you're not really keen with your eyesight or whatever. And the music's super repetitive. But it's cool to have a hidden game in the system. And there I beat one maze. And you get time restored if you successfully complete a maze. I think there's like a total of 12 or 13 mazes or something. And then if you complete the game or if you run out of time, then it'll just go back to the title screen. But that's how you play the mini game, the snail maze game. I don't remember if that's its official title or whatever, but that is a cool trick that you can do even without putting in a game. But yeah, I've done better in other maze type of games. There was an old black and white one arcade game called like the Amazing Maze Game or something, and I did better at that than this. But now let's look at game number 20. Well, this game was released by Sega in 1987 to coincide with an anime series of the same name. You control like a space bounty hunter in the future, or a space special forces agent or something in the future, and this is called Zillion. And what you do is you try to recover stolen documents and rescue some missing agents. And there's this these alien invaders that are responsible for the stolen documents, and they're trying to take over the Earth. And I had never heard of this. Well, I was not into the Sega Master System back in the day, but this is kind of interesting. You go from room to room, and to start out, you're just outside of your ship, and you shoot the alien enemies on your way to this elevator, and take the elevator down to where the rooms are. And in each room, you try to get to a computer, and in order to use the computer, you have to have a card. And you can get various items from destroying these various canisters. And you can also get more cards. You don't want to run out of cards, but it seems like there's usually a way to get more cards. And when you get on the computer, you enter a specific series of symbols, 4 of them. You press up when you destroyed a canister when you're standing on it to recover the items. And there will be certain symbols that you'll see as part of the code that you need to enter on each destroyed terminal or whatever that is. In this first room, there will be a terminal that you break, and it'll make robots come after you. And as long as you put in the right symbols, then you'll be able to open up a door and go to another room. Really kind of a cool idea. I won't play the whole game, sorry. We'll just look at snippets of it. And we'll start out. The game will tell you that there's certain codes you can enter if you put in 4 of the same symbols. I forget exactly how many different symbols there are. There's like 8, maybe more. But you will get a special effect for doing 4 of the same. You can disable certain sensors that can really damage you if you touch them, or laser barriers or something. You can also warp. When you get to the last room, you need to destroy a base, or the whole base, by inputting a certain code into the final computer. And one of those, the code that you need to enter in that last computer is 4 of one certain symbol. But the game told you about all the special codes you can put in at the beginning. I kind of like this game. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to do a whole playthrough. I'll just show you snippets. But here's one of those rooms, and yeah, you have no ID card. You have to get one. And so you shoot these little canisters, or whatever the hell they are, and then you press up when you stand in front of one. And I got part of the password. And either write it down or remember what the symbol is. And yeah, you'll get hurt bad if you go right through that barrier. You need to disable it by putting in a code. And that code was like all of one of those symbols. But that door there was not open because I did not put in all the symbols. Here's me putting in the right symbols to open a door, or activate an elevator that you can take to the next room. Cool little idea. I'd never heard of the anime that was released at the same time, called Zillion. But the hero of the game is called JJ. And like I said, he's like a special forces soldier or something. But he is going to try to rescue 2 agents that went missing. And they are called, God, what was their name? Very, very silly names. Apple and Champ. A gal and a guy. And you'd want to rescue them too. And get bonus points. You can get a better gun, or a laser gun. And there's me dying. I like the death. They show a tombstone, and then one of your dispatcher or whoever who is in love with you starts getting all sad. And then one of the alien enemies laughs at you. You fool. Game over. You have a limited amount of continuous per game. You have like 3 continuous. And that there, I think, is Opa-Opa from Fantasy Zone. Yeah, it makes a cameo in this game. It also makes a cameo in the anime series. Very short-lived anime series. But yeah, don't touch those laser barriers if you can help it. And we'll see some of the symbols, if you put in 4 of a kind, what they do. And one of them will show you a map of the playfield. And I kind of like this game. This got some acclaim from Sega Master System fans. and I can see why. Long game. We're not gonna do a playthrough, but we'll look at some snippets of the game, and we'll see me putting in the different codes. Yeah, you have a life bar, and it's by numerical digits, and when it runs out, you will lose. You will get a game over, and you will get 3 continuous per game. There's some tricks to this game that we'll look at a little bit later. But yeah, there's a level warp, or an area warp, that can take you back near the surface. I hope you had a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed the NFL playoffs, if that was your thing. My team won. I was pretty happy to see Pittsburgh lose. That was pretty incredible. Yeah, you can lose your card in the machine if you like warp or something, and you'll need to find another card, but it seems like you can usually get another card somewhere. Now this is the room where we rescue Apple, and I have to use the computer to open up that wall. But first I gotta get all the password symbols. And no, we've got a lot more lasers this time around later in the game. You might want to use the computer to disable those. And you're going to just about run out of paper writing down all the symbols for each password that you got to put in. Note that I should have lost a lot of energy. I put on I put on an invincibility code, and we'll look at what that is in just a moment. But once we put in all the symbols and enter them into the computer, and then open up that wall, then we'll rescue Apple. Go in the door, push up, and you can now play as her if you want to. She asks where Champ is, or is Champ alright? I don't know, I didn't rescue him yet. But you can also play as Champ if you want to once you rescue him. But she's a superior jumper compared to the other players. But we will have a look at the invincibility trick in just a moment here. And what you need to do is you'll probably have to take a little bit of damage. But you need to get the robot between you and the computer, and you have to have a card. So, no, he wasn't quite between me. Let's try it again. There we go. And now you have to put in the suicide code, which is all the last symbols. And that would normally kill you, but in this instance, with the robot in between you and the computer, you are now invincible. You don't take any damage, ever. You can walk right through the force field. It's really cool. Pretty awesome. Before we rescue Champ, there is the map again. And again, to look at the map, you press all the first symbols. And the green areas are the ones that you've been to already, and that red square is where the enemy's supercomputer is that you need to blow up to destroy the base. And it is a 8x16 grid. Well, now we're going to rescue Champ. And you can switch between all 3 characters during gameplay, and you'll need to, because some might be able to destroy some objects that others can't, or you might need a weapon upgrade, and some can jump farther, some have more health than others. And we're going to get to the end here with Apple, And this is the supercomputer that you need to use the code to destroy, and it's the third to last symbol that you use 4 times. And see, you have a timer up at the top right. But before you can get out, you got to destroy this monster here. Shoot it enough, dodge its attacks, and then you have to find your way all the way back to the surface. Oh man, this sucks. You need to draw yourself a map. What a pain in the butt. But it's still a good game. It has great music and everything. If you got into the ship right at the start, they would give you a free ID card. And you can go back to the ship at any time during gameplay to refill your energy. That was the Zillion men and woman. Gotta be politically correct in this day and age. The alien enemy is pissed. And that is Emmy. And she's in love with the JJ character. But that is Zillion, created by Sega in 1987 to coincide with the 1987 anime series of the same name. I've seen a little of it, it's okay. What a stupid name, Apple. But you see stats for each character, I mean physical stats. And there's JJ. But that was Zillion, game number 20 in our 20 from the Sega Master System series. This game was released in the US. Not all the games on my list will be ones that were released in the US, but they're easy to get a hold of. And, I mean, the ones that were not in the US, you can easily order them. And a lot of them are really worth checking out. But I hope you had a great weekend. Hope you enjoyed the playoff football. I was really glad that the Steelers lost. But that was Zillion, created by Sega in 1987 to coincide with the anime series of the same name. There was a sequel. I don't think it was as good as Zillion. But that was Zillion, game number 20 in our 20 from the Sega Master System series, created by Sega in 1987. I thank you for watching. Hope you join me soon for game number 19. Hope you had a great weekend, and I will see you later, folks. Bye-bye.